Welcome to Healing Step to Wellness with Dr. J and May, your trusted guides to whole person health, one step
and one bite at a time. Well, I'm so glad that we are here to talk about very interesting topic, and that is your specialty, the foot, the skin.
Yes.
Oh, the ugly picture that we are going to see today. But that's so important. So, um, we are going to share with everybody about the skin. Well, especially in winter, Minnesota winter, we have a lot of a skin issue, a lot of a question about that. So, in terms of a skin issue like an athlete foot, corns, callus, warts, and many other type of the skin issue are very common. But a lot of people, they really have no idea how to treat them from the root cause because a lot of them are very stubborn and keep it coming back. So we are so fortunate to have the wonderful foot doctor and also board certified in lifestyle medicine in Minnesota. Very unique podiatrist to share with us about this topic, the foot and skin. So before we get into that, I would like to give some small intro and especially Dr. Ly's training in the past so that our audience know that why he is the best of the best. Okay. So Dr. Lai had studied the hormone to prevent the melanoma, and that was the time when he was in Arizona. And also, he developed the PCR to detect the wart virus, and that subject is a plantar warts research in Iowa. The latest, which was also like more than 2 decades ago,
Yeah.
he did a study on gene expression of acute and chronic wounds. And at a Mayo Clinic, that's related to chronic wound care at a Mayo Clinic, Rochester. So now I'm just going to hang over to Dr. Lai to start the good show now. Thank you.
Thank you, May. Yes, I did a lot of research. I usually like to tell people that my research is always skin deep. From melanoma to plantar warts to chronic wounds, and it's all the skin. And people a lot of time don't realize that skin is actually part of the organ. It's one of the largest organs in the body. It is the first layer of defense, a barrier to
Hmm.
keep any pathogen, any disease, any chemicals outside away from our body. But at the same time, when we look at the skin, that skin will tell us our health status too. So that's very important to know what's going on with our skin and how to take care of our skin. Yeah.
Wonderful. So let's start from the first discussion, like understand the skin problem. So tell us, what are those common skin issue?
Um, the most common one will be fungus among us. So on the skin, there's athlete's foot. So people look at athlete foot, the first thing they come up with all that's is a smelly feet, dry, itchy, like that. But actually, athlete foot not necessarily will be itchy.
Mm,
Sometimes they're not even red. It just a lot of scaling like
mm,
that. So that is athlete's foot. And the same fungus will go into the skin and the nail. Nail is part of the skin. So the nail will become infected. When nails are infected with fungus, they'll become thickened, yellowish. Sometimes it's crumbling, um, doesn't look very happy, and those are fungal nails. And also the next one is a corn. Um, corn and carrots, they are very similar, but there are some differences. And so corn usually are more painful than the carrots, and they usually indicate biomechanical issues. So when you have carrots, when you have corns, either one, it's really not just to shave it down. What I like to talk to my patients is why you have this. Let's look at the root cause, why you have this instead of just shaving it down. So that's corns and carrots. And parental warts. People usually come in and say, I have warts, parental warts on my feet, on my foot. And honestly, it's not common in adults. It's more common in teenagers, teenagers, because it's related to immunity. And parental warts, it is painful, and there are different types of parental warts that we can always discuss. And so that's parental warts. And a lot of times they are mistaken for corns, or corns being mistaken for warts. So those are common ones. But one thing people don't usually think about, especially on the foot and ankle, is melanoma. Melanoma, interestingly, is more deadly when it's further away from the hip. So that means the mortality rate is higher if we find it on the foot and ankle. And most distal part away from our body is the toes. So if we find those melanoma underneath the nails on the toes, and that's usually not a thing we like to see. Yeah. So those.
So, okay, help me understand this. All right. When you talk about the fungus infection, athlete foot, I think I remember seeing a lot of athlete foot, especially in the place where it's warm, humid. So is that related to the weather condition?
Not just the weather, because we control what we wear, what we do with our shoes and our socks. So those material or that will affect the moisture surrounding our feet, our toes and nails. So not just the weather, even though during the summertime when it's hot and a lot of rain, of course it's easier to get the feet into that warm, moist environment. But it's very important our shoes and socks too.
So now you also mentioned about a fungus and go further like into the uh kind of deeper tissue underneath the nail. So can you share with us about the fungus itself in general and how contagious it is? Uh, yeah.
Well, the fungi, fungi, more than one is fungi, they are normally inside our shoes. So in our socks, in our shoes, that's where they like to live because they are warm, they are moist, they are dark. They love it. And so whenever we have a skin break or a toenail, got a trauma to a toenail, got a crack, and the fungus will get inside. And if our immunity is not good enough, or if that fungus is especially aggressive, then we have skin infections or nail infection. And they usually like to stay on the superficial part of our skin, we call epidermis. So that would stay there. They like to like one type of protein called keratin. Also, that makes up the top of our skin, the callus and nail, the whole part of the keratins, and they love it. So they like to eat those, well, for breakfast or every meal, and like to spread just across the skin. However, for people with more of the immune issues, yes, it's possible they will go much deeper than that. So that is a fungus, and because the fungus they spread out very far, and they're not as visible, and that's the reason why it's very hard to treat the fungus, the fungal
Nice.
infection. And there's not just one type of fungus that go into your skin, go into your nail. There are multiple types of fungi, and they will infect the nail and the skin and make it even harder to treat.
Okay. So, um, so the fungus, it's kind of a stubborn things that it's hard to get rid of.
Right.
Um, so when anybody they have the fungus infection, um, do they need to handle their personal hygiene uh, differently?
Most of the time, we like to separate the socks away from anything else when we wash it.
Mm,
And that's a good practice. And in terms of contagious, it it is contagious, but it's not super contagious.
hmm.
So you don't treat it like a quarantine type of thing that we have the COVID, but you just need to be mindful. Don't pick your toes and pick your nose. No. Make
I
sure
can
wash
see,
your hands when you pick your toes.
I can see that can be very ugly. Pick your
Yeah.
toes and pick your nose. All
Well,
right.
actually, yeah, there'll be more of an issue with the words too, but yeah, we can talk about that.
We can talk about that. Okay, so now you mentioned about the uh corns and callus that
Yeah.
is due to the biomechanic. So can you explain what is a biomechanic?
Bio is biological system like human, animals, anything bio, and is biology. And mechanics, you know how things work. Your force, your pressure, your angles, joints, that is a mechanics. So inside a human, we call it biomechanics, or animals biomechanics. And
Mhm.
the corns and carrots, interestingly, they are initially formed to protect the skin. When you have extra
Mm,
pressure
mm,
forces over there,
mhm,
the body started to layer more keratin there, as a
mhm,
layer, just like a cushion or anything to protect it.
mhm,
However, the keratin is very hard.
mhm,
So after a certain thickness, if you don't trim it, it's as hard as rock. And
mm,
that's why it get into the give you the pain, or may put down too much pressure and break down your tissue underneath the
mm,
skin and creating
mm,
infections, ulceration,
mhm,
that. And so that is a very biomechanical issue.
Okay, now I can link to. I do have a callus, I think. It's very hard. Do you want
Yes.
to do you want to see it?
No.
So, okay, now serious. Um, when people have a callus or corn, mm, when they soak their feet, right? When they soak their feet and it will soften the tissue. Do you recommend them to peel off?
Not peel. You could use a palm stone to generally uh, generally remove the dead skin on top. That's okay. But the main thing is people don't usually understand the difference between a corn and a
Mm,
callus.
mm-hmm.
So a corn, anyone from Midwest should know it's a corn because there's a seed inside. And that's exactly why they are called a corn, because they have a seed inside the lesion. And why there's a corn
Mm.
or a core inside? It's because you are hitting uh, the bone, a pressure point is underneath the bone. So the bone is
Oh.
hitting the ground every time you walk on the shoe, everything. And that's why there's a very concentrated um, pressure right there and the
Mm-hmm.
thickness right there and form a corn or a core. And that's why we
Mm-hmm.
call it callus. So it's
Mm-hmm.
coming from the pounding forces, it's the pressure right there.
Mm-hmm.
And a callus is a little bit different. It's under the pressure point, under the bone too. However, the difference is it's from twisting.
Mm.
It's a shear force twisting. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's usually diffused. It's bigger and more shallow than a corn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a callus, it's a corn. But if
Mm-hmm.
you wonder, I can tell you, insurance doesn't care. They only care how many we take care of. So,
Let's not talk about the insurance.
okay,
Let's
fine.
not go there.
Yeah,
All right.
those are the difference between the corn and carrots. But as I mentioned, regardless of corn or carrots, they all come from biomechanical issues.
And I can see that people with diabetes can be very risky when they pick their own skin when
Mhm.
open a lesion that can be infected and are hard to heal.
Right, right. So that's why we don't really recommend people taking those off by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You really wanna use a pumice stone or anything, just gently remove some dead skin on top. And I it's also recommended not to use a so-called medicated corn patch.
Mm-hmm.
So those patch they put some acid inside. And the idea is to soften those corns and carrots, and when you
Mm-hmm.
remove it, you can remove the dead tissue,
Mm-hmm.
the skin with it. The
Mm-hmm.
issue is those acid compounds, they cannot tell the difference between good skin and
And the
carrots.
best. Mm-hmm.
That means the acid can keep going down and eat
Oh,
the good tissue,
I see.
creating an open wound.
Wow.
And that's why really not recommend to use the so-called medicated corn pad or corn patches.
So how you see on this subject, how do you see people in high risk, especially people with a neuropathy or with a diabetes circulation issue, if they go to like it's called nail salon. I know from my experience that they normally like to soak your feet and rub it and get rid of the skin. What's your take on that?
I'll stop. I will do that until they stop. The step. No, they can sew my feet. They can rub my feet. It's okay. But when I, I understand that they are not supposed to use anything sharp to remove your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So they can use a stone or anything to smooth out your skin, take off any dead skin on top. That's perfectly fine. The one thing I don't like is they tend like to cut the cuticles, the skin
Mm-hmm.
surrounding your nail. They like to
Mm-hmm.
cut it, and that's where the infection comes from.
Ah, yeah.
So that is part that I usually just tell my patients that when you go there, just advise not to touch the cuticles. And most of the time, that's fine with that. And of course, it's once a while our patients who are coming in who get the fungal nails from the pedicure because the tools are not sterilized.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another
Yeah.
concern.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think a lot of people need to hear your advice right here because have you seen a lot of patient they came in with a very ugly toe, skin, nail because of that
Yeah,
issue?
yeah, I do. But as I say, if you can pay more attention to what to do, what not to do, it's a nice service. It's a good pamper for yourself. Yes.
Yeah. Well, people with a medical condition probably it's safe to come to see you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now one thing that I do want to learn more about is the plantar warts because the plantar warts is quite stubborn. I have seen patients that at a teenage and even younger, it seems like a lot of them complain about it's never go away. So, yeah.
Wow, how much time do we have?
I know I think we probably not able to go through every question we have, but that's okay.
I did my PhD study on printed words. So how much time do we have?
Well, let's stay on focus. Okay, how about
Okay,
that?
okay.
Okay.
Printed words, as I mentioned, people a lot of time mistaken corns as words or words as
hmm
corns.
hmm
There's three distinct characteristics of a word. Number one is there is pinpoint bleeding. This is a word.
Ah.
The virus is similar to the virus that cause female cervical cancer.
Mm.
So on the feet, printed words, most common types of human papilloma virus, 1, 2, and 4.
Mm.
And then cervical cancer is 16, 18, 31, 33, like that. So they're
Mm.
similar. And so their ability is to attract new blood vessel formation.
Oh.
That's one thing that the
Mm.
cancers would do is
Mm-hmm.
draw new blood vessel formation.
Mm-hmm.
So the HPV viruses can do that. And so when you have the parental warts, it's very easy to bleed, even though sometimes it's not painful, because they just have the tiny, tiny blood vessels inside the callus part of the lesion. So when you trim it, it's very easy to see pinpoint bleeding or a lot of bleeding right there. So that's the first thing is you look at it, you see the pinpoint black black spots right there. So it's number one. Number two is we call it a skin line. So when you look at your skin, there's a skin lines. So when you have a corn callus, you can still see the skin line going through on top of the corns on callus, but you don't see that in the wart.
Oh, I see.
That's
Yeah.
what we call lots of skin lines.
Uh-huh.
And number
Okay.
three is the easiest way for you to know. Most of the time, a corn callus is painful when you touch it.
Right.
Because it's from the pressure. But a wart, it doesn't.
Oh.
And for a corn or callus, when you pinch it, squeeze it from the side, usually it's okay, unless it's infected. Now, when you squeeze it, it doesn't increase a lot of pain or pain at all. But the wart is opposite. When you touch the wart, it doesn't hurt. But when you squeeze it, it hurts a lot.
Okay.
So that's the three things you can tell whether that's a wart or it's a corn callus.
So how do people realize that they have warts? Apparently, it bothers them. If
Well,
you say, yeah,
it's painful. So if we want to know, the easiest for them just pinch it themselves,
pinch
squeeze
it.
it. Right? If a wart, it'll be very painful. And a corn callus, usually it doesn't hurt. So you know you have a corn or you have a wart.
So does the wart spread very fast?
Yes. So especially in teenagers, a lot of time they spray in the gym or swimming pool. You barefoot a lot. That's an area that is really contagious, and that is a thing. That is a thing because when I started my PhD, there were less than 100 types of human papilloma viruses. By the time toward the end of my PhD study, there are hundreds of HPV viruses they found. So the virus will affect all over the body.
Oh,
Maybe different types, but all over the body.
okay.
Because they love, regardless which type of HPV, they love the skin. They infect the skin. So even they go to your nose, it's the skin of your nose. So even go to your eyes, it's the skin of the other eyes, or anything like that. So they love the skin. So when people who give them the opportunity to go to different part of the body, as long as the skin, you have the risk of getting the HPV virus into it.
Okay. So is that very easy to spread it on your own body? Like, you're talking about the pick the nose and pick your foot, and then is that the same thing?
Yes. I remember when I started out doing my HPV virus, my research advisor told me that this lab has a different rule. You have to wash your hands before you go to the bathroom.
Okay. Ooh, that can be very ugly if you don't wash your hands clean.
So because it will spray. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow.
So that's worse.
So, all right. So now thank you very much for this explanation in greater detail. I
And
think, yeah.
another thing I really want to talk about is melanoma.
Oh, okay, sure. You know what? I think you are attaching the photo of the kind of example of the melanoma, what that look like. And looks like there's the photo shows that the kind of a dark color underneath the
Mm,
nail.
Right, right. So melanoma can happen not only on the skin but underneath the nail.
Mm,
And something even more interesting is a lot of time when the melanoma happen underneath the nail, they are not necessarily black because melanoma usually is black from melanocyte, but a lot of times it's not black, and it looks like an ingrown toenail. We call it paronychia, ingrown toenail. People who come in with terrible, terrible ingrown toenail and turns out to be melanoma. So when you have any lesion on your skin, you want to take a look. When you have unknown spots or that the streak, just black, one spot, regardless how you trim your nail, they're always there. Have you check? Very simple biopsy will take care of it. Well, not take care of it, we'll get a diagnosis.
So interesting. How did the melanoma get into the nail underneath the nail bed? Because I mean, I thought that it's been hidden in the shoes. How did that happen?
Melanoma, well, melanoma is coming from the sunlight. So people don't usually put sunscreen on their feet.
Including nail?
Well, nail is a different issue. So you just don't know where the cancer cell will show up. But a lot of time it's because we don't put a sunscreen on our feet. That's one thing. And another thing is the power of my research when I was in Arizona. I would like to talk about that. That's pretty interesting. Right now, peptides are very popular. People will take the peptides for different things. There's one peptide called melanoidin 10-2, and that was to simulate the growth hormones and also the melanocyte stimulating hormone MSH, and that was exactly what I did when I was in Arizona. So I am suspecting that the melanoidin 10-2 originated from University of Arizona, and that when you take it, the idea, my professor invented that one. His idea was you take it and you tan your body. You don't need to go under the sun. You don't need to go to a tanning bed that may potentially cause cancer because of UV. But you take the hormone, the peptide, into your body and then stimulate the growth of melanocytes. Then you tan your body nature from inside out. You don't need to have the sunlight.
Interesting.
And he also told me that back in the days, people like to do research on themselves. So he actually did that on himself, and he told me about some side effects he experienced. And actually, those side effects are the one that those pills are marketing for.
What are those?
That increase your libido, your sex drive.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
control hormone. So that's very interesting though, but that's part of my very early research in the US at that time.
That was at least 30 years ago.
Um,
Yes.
okay.
Was
Let's
in
not talk about that.
yeah, Tucson, Arizona. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. This is very interesting. Oh my gosh. So it sounds like all of this all tied to the athlete foot because the athlete they can get all kinds of issue that you mentioned here and can affect their performance, right? They can easily get corn, easily get the callus.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're athletes that they move a lot, they jump a lot. So whenever you have biomechanical issue, now over time and also through repetitive work, it will amplify those issues. And so even fungal nails, now as I mentioned, they're in the shoes already. And when you have a lot of activities and your socks are not ultimate. So what I mean is, in the old days, we like to have 100% cotton socks. Now we know it's not good. So because when we work out or anything, the socks will suck up the moisture from our feet, our toes. But then it retain the 100% cotton will retain the moisture inside the sock without releasing to the shoes. We call it wicking, W-I-C-K, wicking. If the socks don't wick out the moisture, the socks are always wet, moist, damp. And that creates a lot of issues. Number one is increase the friction. When you increase the friction, you open up the skin, you get a callus, you got a blisters, like that. So the number one. Number two is it gets very hot. It was humidity. It gets very hot in summer and very cold in winter. And that's why the number one is we look at the socks. Now make sure it's not 100% cotton. The recommendation is you want a mixture of natural and synthetic fibers. For example, you want some cotton with some nylon, you want spandex, or you want the Cool Max. That they say that will regulate your temperature right there. That's a Cool Max. So you want to have different fibers there mixed together that it can really absorb the moisture but can wick out also. That's one. And number two is the shoes. That is the same thing for the shoes. So the material of the shoes, the design of the shoes, some are better at dispersing those moisture and the temperature out, make the feet cool. Sure, you change your socks and shoes more often, at least once a day. Don't wear the same shoes every day. Let the shoes dry up at least 24, preferably 48 or even 72 hours. Ladies, that's your excuse to buy more shoes.
I think the shoe store would love to hear this comment.
So that's a lot of things. So for athletes, they run a lot. That's what they need to look at. So the mechanical issues that could create an issue with your skin and break the nails and get more. And because of the sweating issue, they have more sweats. You have a high temperature in the shoes, and they're easier to get athlete's foot or at their athlete. Of course, they have athlete's foot and also the fungal nail issue.
Well, my goodness, just by understanding all these different conditions, we have spent a chunk of time on this episode, and you still have a lot more to cover. Like, I kind of I'm so curious about that. You are a lifestyle medicine certified podiatrist. How do you apply the lifestyle medicine principle, which there are 6 health pillars, and which ones actually apply to all these conditions the best, and also the treatment approach. And also you also mentioned about the regenerative medicine. I mean, we probably
So we talked about biomechanics already.
Yeah.
That's what I like to use: lifestyle medicine, functional medicine, regenerative medicine, and with biomechanics.
Right.
And for athletes, we'll talk about biomechanics, the core and callus, or how they get there. And so if we look at lifestyle, we look at nutrition. Nutrition has several things to work on that. As simple as you want to increase your immunity.
Oh yeah,
Food can
true.
increase your immunity, right? We would like to say G bombs. So you have the green, you have the beans, your onion, mushroom, you have the berries and seeds. Those has very high antioxidants inside, and that will improve your immunity right there. And then also I like to say eat a rainbow. Why eat a rainbow? Because every color every picnic is an antioxidant. That means when you eat different colors, you're absorbing different types of antioxidants into your body. That's why we want that. And number 3, we want to have at least 30 different plant foods per week, not per day. You could do it per day, but we are very easy people, so you only do it per week.
Yeah. Plant food,
Antioxidants,
including
you
nuts and
have a
seeds.
lot of fibers like that, and the fiber is very important in the functional medicine side that we will talk about that. And another thing about food is you can also improve your circulation. When you don't have a good circulation, your body is easier to get infection. You reduce your defense. Now, regardless how much immune cells you have, if they cannot get to your toes, get to your skin, you're not able to protect your skin. You have the good circulation. So that's the food we talk about. And then the most importantly, I just mentioned that the skin, we have our keratin inside. And also for the nail, the skin, what it makes up beside the keratin is collagen. Everyone talk about collagen. I said, it's okay, I have a collagen drink. However, just like anything else, you put into your mouth, go to your GI system, it's going to be digested, meaning it'll be broken down. Even though you drink collagen drinks, those collagen molecules will be broken down inside your body into amino acids or short or peptides, more than one amino acid together to be peptides. So they are not collagen. That means the body needs to form the collagen itself to supply to your skin. And there's I like to say collagen is a very picky molecule. It needs 3 steps to produce a mature collagen molecule. And the 3 steps, those 3 steps then require vitamin C, zinc, and copper during the process. So if you don't have enough vitamin C or zinc or copper, even you're drinking collagen drink, your body is not going to make mature collagen molecules. And then if we talk about another aspect of lifestyle medicine is sleep. So when we talk about collagen synthesis, the 3 steps of the processing, the first 2 steps happen when we are sleeping, when we are in deep sleep. So if you don't have good sleep, you don't have molecules for the body to complete during daytime when we are awake. And that's why nutrition is important, sleep is important in the skin health. And then when you look at the lifestyle, another thing will be stress. Now, stress, we have the cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that like to degrade soft tissue. So when you have the skin issue, you have a cracking, you try to repair your skin, and you have another molecule inside your body try to break it down. And that is absolutely not helpful. So you want to reduce the cortisol level in your body, and that will help body heal. So just lifestyle medicine, a lot of things that I can talk to. And in terms of functional medicine, it is the diagnostic tool what I like to use. So for example, we like to see if someone keep having infections, skin infections, or even the asthma or anything, they have the dermatitis, even that. It's a lot of times it's coming from your GI system microbiome. So it's either the microbiome, all those the germs, the makeup is not correct, or your gut lining is not healthy. So things leaking out, we call it leaky gut syndrome. They will cause the immune system, immune issue, like that. So microbiome and the GI health is functional medicine side we like to see. And then when we like to talk about regenerative medicine, so how we help the body heal, even the fungal nails, we can do a lot of things to help the nail rejuvenate those cells to grow and repair, not only fight off the fungus or virus, but at the same time, make it stronger.
Yeah.
So that's regenerative medicine. Now we can use a lot of things like laser, class 4 laser. We can use peptide made into cream, anything like that, or even oral to boost up the immunity like that. So it is like to use the whole system with the lifestyle medicine as a foundation. Functional medicine is a diagnostic tool. Regenerative medicine is the real treatment. And then biomechanics to look at the root cause.
You know, We kind of run out of the time right here with a lot of information, very insightful. Um, I think that it is so important. Again, it's kind of a go back to what you embrace, treating the root cause. It's not, you cannot just do the surface. And it is important to understand the um, the the knowledge to understand how that work and why we should take the uh, treating the root cause approach in order to recover quick. Otherwise, they keep coming back, and it's kind of very frustrating and also waste money and time. Yeah,
Right. And you suffer from those conditions.
right.
The pain, even the
Mm-hmm.
callus, that's a simple pain right there. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I can always look at them and say, I'll give you some padding, some anything, trim it down. But the real long-term cause is re resolution is really look at the root cause. Why, how the way you walk, the foot, the way your foot is, the ankle, that. Look at the structural function and to look at why you have those. Yeah.
Well, Dr. J, I think we need to continue this episode, the discussion on next episode because I have a lot of questions. I truly
No
want
worries,
to,
too.
I want to know how to do it, and I have heard so many people, they try to use some soaking video, but we are not going there right now. But I just want to have a fully understanding about why this work and what is the better
Mm.
approach, especially now getting to winter. In Minnesota, we all have very harsh, dry winter, and how we can protect our skin, prevent from further damage or infection. That is so important.
Right, right. When
Yeah.
it's dry, the cracking is much easier for fungus to get in there and spray. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's come back to continue this, the treatment. Of course, we are not able to disclose all the detailed treatment because everybody has a different situation. And but it kind of a general concept to help people
Mhm.
understand what is so important to seek out care. Don't wait.
Right.
Especially it's not worth it to wait until when it got worse, and especially for the people high risk, it could be very serious and even losing the toes due to uh, the infection. Okay.
Right. Just like anything else, it's not one size fits all. So there's
Hmm.
always different options, different management strategies.
Right. All right. So let's close our conversation. Oh, by the way, before we close that, would you please repeat to our audience how they get to reach out to you if they really need help?
Yep. Go to our website, rochesterclinic.com. Our email is health@rochesterclinic.com. Our phone number, 507-218-3095.
Yeah. Well, remember when we have this show, another approach is how do we incorporate the nutrient-dense food in our daily eating? And we haven't done that yet because I have several ideas about what are the dishes that you actually can make it easy but tasty just within 10 minutes or 30 minutes. So we should bring that out too, right?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the Healing Step to Wellness. And thank you, Dr. J, for very insightful information to educate us on all these common conditions.
Thank you.
So now, um, Dr. J,
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on Healing Step to Wellness. I'm Dr. J,
I'm May,
guiding you toward a whole person health, one step.
and one bite at a time. We'll see you next
See you
time.
next time.
Thank you.
Bye now.